before the county owned it. It was just a boarded up, very old house. It was very intriguing. And I really wanted to get inside. So finally, when the county had the open house in conjunction with the newly formed Friends of Historic Huntley, it was a perfect opportunity, and I joined the Friends on the spot, and I've been doing the publicity ever since. So if you've ever been inside, you realize that it's kind of different than the usual kind of historic site from what else we have around in this area. For one thing, it's only open twice a year, and you don't have to pay admission. And when you're inside, it's unbelievable because it has been uninhabited for over 30 years. Nothing's been done. There's no furniture. The walls are peeling. So anybody who's not a preservationist might think, well, why bother? It's just a dilapidated old building. Get rid of it, build something new. Well, there's two very important reasons. One is the Mason family connection, and one is the style of the architecture. So, Huntley Meadows Park, are you all familiar with that? I know Kathy is. It used to, George Mason used to own part of that land, and the property was passed down from father to son to grandson, and in this case, the grandson is Thompson Francis Mason. He eventually added parcels of land to Historic Huntley and built a house there in 1825. Thompson Francis Mason, he sort of fell through the cracks of history. His illustrious grandfather probably overshadowed him, but he was pretty well known in his own right. He was Justice of the Peace. He was a lawyer. He was mayor of Alexandria for a number of terms. President Van Buren appointed him to the first criminal court of Washington. At that time, Alexandria was still part of D.C. And then he also led the fight to have Alexandria returned back to Virginia from D.C. There are no portraits of him that we are sure of. This one is in the Virginia room, a copy of it in the Virginia room in the Fairfax City Library, and Gunston Hall has the original. We think, we can pass this around, we think that was Thompson when he was a teenager, but we're not 100% sure. Apparently, during the Civil War, his main house, Culver's, which was in the city of Alexandria, was ransacked, and a lot of family portraits disappeared, so a picture of him could be up north somewhere. We just don't know. We're hoping maybe somewhere along the line something will be discovered. And I've also got pictures here I can pass around from various open houses so you have an idea of the current state of disrepair. And we know he owned numerous properties in the city of Alexandria because as a public official, that's where he had to make his main residence. He also had 8 kids. His wife is Betsy Price of Loudoun County. But we have the question of why did he build this house since he had so many properties in Alexandria? You think maybe it was a summer residence, maybe it was a lot cooler being up on a hill away from the city. But there's still a lot of research that has to be done.
Excuse me, didn't they used to swim in the river in those days?
Probably, and I think the river was a lot closer.
And they used to have little beach cottages there on the river. So that might be.
Yeah, well, maybe that was
We
sort of
still
an
got a couple
extension.
down there.
Maybe at some point we'll find out. So if you live in an old house, maybe you want to check your attic. Maybe you have some letters up there that haven't been discovered yet. The property was a working farm. He didn't live there during the year. The farm was managed by an overseer, and worked by slaves. It has a very large ice house, much larger than you would expect for a family, even though it was a large family. So part of that question is, were they planning on doing a lot of entertaining? It sits on a terraced hill, and it's very formal looking, and that too, in mansions, that was something considered for the upper class for entertaining. There's a unique aspect to the downstairs area. Each room has its own outside door. So that's still a mystery that has to be figured out.